Oh, this is going to be fun. Yeah, oh, yeah. No. Don't turn the dial. Don't go away. Don't hit pause because we got Josh Glaz in the house. This is going to be nuts. Wait till you hear these stories, my friends. This is going to be so epic. I can't even wait to get started. Josh Glaz here in the house with us at the Behind the Agent podcast, where we peek behind the agent and see what's really going on. Josh, how you doing, my friend? What's going on, brother? You doing good?
Doing great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, man, I'm so glad to have you here. So just so you guys know, Josh owns his own company. It's called The Ave, A-V-E, The Ave. On a side note, he's also a loan guy, and he has a new loan, not new loan company, rebranded, which is going to be called Nice Place. And the branding this guy comes up with is just phenomenal. He's not only a stellar agent, and I'm confident a stellar loan guy, but he's quite the artist. He's got quite the eye for the branding. I got to tell you, it looks really nice. You do a good job there. Home base, Downey, California.
Yeah.
Downey. And you said that's just north of Long Beach, I think, right?
Yeah, south of downtown LA, just north of Long Beach.
Okay, so down there in SoCal. All right. So let's look at numbers that Josh has knocked out. 2023, 74 transactions. Nice. So far this year, 32 transactions. Nice. I'd say you're doing pretty well, my friend. So let's start it like I always start it, bro. What were you thinking? Why did you get into real estate? What in the world possessed you to do something as crazy as that?
I got in by accident. I was in college. I was working at the Good Guys, if I can date myself a bit. So I was in Long Beach on PCH and selling electronics and car stereos. And I got fired one day. And I went looking for a job, went to Circuit City. They wouldn't hire me because I got fired. My girlfriend at the time, my now wife, was like, "Hey, come work at Household Finance with me."
Household finance. Okay. The old household finance.
Old household finance.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. So I didn't want to do it. I told her no. She was carrying me for like 3 or 4 months through college. And then finally, like, forget it and just let's go. So they handed me I went and worked there. They handed me a rotary phone and a phone book and started dialing for dollars in torrents. Turned out to be really freaking good at it. And then when I finished going to college, I stayed in the loan business, and I was going to be a teacher at in English, and decided staying here. So my wife got me in all because I got fired from the Good Guys.
All right, great. Yeah, so they're lost. Everybody else's gain. Obviously, I just got to know why'd they fire you?
I gave away a car charger during a promotion and didn't put on the ticket, and then the guy came back the next day to return it.
Oh, so they fired you for that.
It was all part of the promotion, but I didn't do it the right way.
Oh, so they got rid of you. Didn't do it the right way. See you, Josh. Okay, whatever. I'll show you.
Make an example.
All right. So you get into HFC, right? You get into HFC and doing some deals there. When did you decide, hey, I want to go sell houses? What happened there? What's going on?
It was a long story. I started Household Finance where we sold rates at 12.875 and 7.25 points. So it was a hell of a way to start, because if you can sell that, you can sell anything.
Totally.
Ended up running a branch for them out of Pasadena, and then left there to go to Full Spectrum Lending, which was owned by Countrywide. Left Full Spectrum Lending to the Countrywide hub. I ran the call center there, and then I got fired at Countrywide.
Yeah. Was that because they blew up? Is that why you got fired, or what did you do there? What did you give away there? Yeah,
we did I couldn't get a loan done, and the lady was facing foreclosure. So I passed her off to a broker, gave her the information. Somehow the information got back to Countrywide, and me and everyone involved got let go. Which was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, but just so I'm clear, because you tried to help the person out, Countrywide couldn't help them out. You did what you could do for the person, and they didn't like that.
Correct.
Is exactly what
that's exactly what happened.
Okay, well, whatever. Yeah. Well, I mean, we know the story with them after that, so no big
exactly.
deal. Right? No big deal. So then what? You got laid off from Countrywide.
I went to wholesale, did subprime lending, worked at Acoustic Home Loans for many, many years.
With who?
Did Acoustic Home Loans and subprime.
I don't remember them. Yeah.
They were like competitors of Argent.
Okay. All right.
That kind of subprime kind of style.
Yeah. It's the two lenders shooting the breeze on this podcast right now. I'm remembering all these guys and these wholesalers. Okay, so you went to wholesale. Keep going.
Yeah, back in the day, Encore was there.
Yeah.
But anyways, I went there and did great. Made a ton of money because they were passing it out like candy. Ended up running that company as the VP of sales. So then that ship sank because subprime market went down.
Yeah.
Did all day, stayed in the wholesale line of work. Tried a couple of different banks. Tried to help them grow, but there was no wholesale at the time. So I left, took a year off, and became a real estate agent.
And
And then as a
why
real
though?
estate agent,
Why? Wait, so you took a year off. Why didn't you just go back to just do wholesale and lending? Why did you decide, I'm gonna go real estate?
well, my mother-in-law was a broker, and I love the fact she made her own hours. And I just felt like I'm, driving every day to Anaheim Hills or down to Orange County, and the traffic sucks. And I live in Downey. The office is literally a mile from the house. And maybe I can just head over there, get to work faster, do more work. So I was doing loans under her. And then as I was doing loans with real estate agents, I just kind of sat here going, why am I letting them open doors and me doing their loans and them asking me for money? I asked them to help me out. They don't know what 1003 is. So I'm like, I can open doors. So I went, got my real estate license and became a glorified door opener
Mm-hmm.
because the guy that does the loans is the guy that does all the work in the first place, aside from driving around. So I ended up doing both sides.
Interesting.
Became a real estate agent and started and kept doing loans.
So you do both still. You're still doing both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on
Absolutely.
the on the real estate side though, doing loans is one thing, right? And there's ways to get business doing that, but on doing real estate, how did you start? Were you reaching out to past clients? How did you get started? Like, how did you get your first buyer, your first listing?
It
How
was
did that come out? Yeah.
real estate's hard. It's a lot
It
easier
is
to get a
harder,
loan.
isn't it? I think it's harder to find a deal in real estate than in lending for sure.
Absolutely, because I mean, at least as a loan, I can sit here on the phone. I can call people. I can,
Right.
people refer. Everyone can refinance. Everyone owns a
Right.
house. Not
Right.
everyone's buying, so your
Mm-hmm.
numbers are different. So when I finally got to real estate, I was driving out to like Elsinore every single morning. That's where my clients were. So it's about an hour and a half drive. Then I ended up in Manatee, which is further than like Elsinore. And then I ended up in Murrieta, which is even further. And I got to Wildomar. And once I got to Wildomar, I started getting closer and closer and closer to home. So over like 3 or 4 year process, I started getting closer to LA, closer to Downey, getting more clientele, getting more teachers and nurses, and
But how are you
just
getting
kind of
them?
making friends with people.
That's how were you getting?
Referrals.
What were you doing?
Everything was referral. At the beginning, Zillow was actually affordable and it was worth its while. So I use a lot of Zillow. I was one of the first Redfin agents ever hired. Not
Really?
to work for Redfin, but to be a broker, like Redfin like team member, which
Okay.
I still am. But when they first came out, I got an email like, I don't know what Redfin is. So I'm like, hey, you know what? Leads are leads. They're free. They take
Yeah.
25%. I'm gonna go check it out. That worked out really well for me. So I kind of got in right place, right time. I was the first
Yeah.
person hired in Long Beach. So I had the 105 corridor for them.
Yeah.
That worked out. Zillow worked out real well for me though at the very, very beginning in Bellflower, Long Beach, and Lakewood. And that's kind of how I started building it. And then eventually got rid of Zillow because Zillow kept getting worse and worse and worse and more
Mm,
expensive.
mm,
And then the Redfin leads, as Redfin grew, they kept more stuff in house. So it was just me, like,
mm.
word of mouth, referrals. But at this point, I kind of built, my following,
Sure.
and I've treated them so well that they would refer their family and friends. And the way I looked at things, I do real estate and I do loans. So if I do your real estate, I was like almost giving away the loan. Like,
Yeah.
I'll just pay your closing costs for you. Here you go.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
with me. Somebody work with me.
Got ya.
And I didn't mind giving away to get more because I had to build it somehow. And until you can build it, you can't make money. You have to keep giving it away
Yeah.
until you have enough to help you out.
Yeah. Interesting. So, what about today? Let's fast forward to today. Last year you did 74. That's a lot. I mean,
Mhm.
this year already 32. It's a lot. It where would you say these are coming from now? Where are they come? And I'm also curious your listing to buyer ratio. Like how heavy are you on the list seller
50.
to buyer?
It's 50-50.
So about
Listing to
fifty
buyer. So I
fifty.
was always a buyer's agent. So I came in the game to be a buyer's agent. I didn't want to do listings. That wasn't my
Okay.
forte. Every other agent out there is calling on MLSs, cancel listings,
Mm,
expireds, all that stuff.
mm,
I wanted to help buyers. So I do
mm,
loans.
mm,
And by doing the loan, I had control of everything. So I
mm,
knew if I get the buyer in my hand, I can get the loan done. I knew everything was going. I'll close in
mm,
25 days and on to the
mm,
next one. So that was where I focused on everything. And then in
mm.
time, my buyers became sellers. And then they call me back to
Sure.
list their house. And so
Sure.
now, over all this time with the referrals that I get, about 50-50 on buyers and sellers, I still like buyers better because I get to double into every single deal.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so what would you say the ratio is now? Like, where do you get your business from? Where's it coming from? Are you a big social media
It's
guy? Are you a
all
phone caller?
no,
Are you
no social
what? Are
media,
you a
no
referral
phone
guy?
calls.
What is it?
Everything is my clients sending me clients and more clients sending me clients. It's just that I work hard. I'm always answering my phone. I've got a routine down. I'm every morning I wake up at 3:30 in the morning. Every day I'm at the office by 7:30. I work out twice a day. take care of my family, take care of my kids. Like I'm on vacation. I'm still working. I always
Yeah.
answer my phone. That's the
Yeah.
biggest part. I said it
Yeah. You're a
twice, but
hustler.
that's the biggest thing is being available.
Yeah. Yeah. Being available. I'm writing it
And
down.
people like that.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. It's all referral, primarily. It's all referrals where you're getting your stuff. What do you do to stay in touch with them? Do you do anything? Do you make phone calls? How are you?
I am
How do
the
you keep top of
worst
mind with
real
them?
estate agent in the world. Honestly, they just know to call me. So like the people I'm in touch with is my loan pipeline, my real estate pipeline. As I need, as the process goes, you talk to them every day. It's just how it
Yeah.
is. I always tell my clients for the next 30 days, we're gonna be best friends, and I will talk to you more than you talk to your wife.
Mm,
After 30 days, you're gonna miss me dearly, and I won't talk to you for 6 to 12 months.
mm,
But when that time comes and rates go down, you're gonna call me back.
yeah.
And they just know. I put alerts in their phones when they leave my office. That way they know to call me. Like in 6 months on an FHA loan, when rates go down,
Yeah.
we can streamline them.
Yeah.
But I am really bad at follow up and those sorts of things. But I leave a really strong impression, and they know I love them when I'm here, and I'm always here for them. They have questions, I answer questions. I don't charge them for anything. Like they need an accommodation, get a deed done. I'll pay the $89 for them. It's just being available and having the knowledge to help them and guide them on where they need to go to get the right answer.
So not that great at follow up, but you make a really strong impression.
I would say so.
I would say so too. Yeah, you just getting to meet you and learn about you. You're, you've got quite a presence. You know what I mean? Like it's like, okay, this guy's got something going on, and yes, you're making a strong impression right now, so I get it.
Well, it's funny. I feel really nervous. So,
oh, please. All right, no, you're doing great. Advice. What's the advice for someone? And remember, talk to the real estate agent. Primarily, is being seen by real estate agents who might not have any desire to do a loan, right? So
it's routine. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, what did you say? I wanted to hear that. What did you say?
No, it's routine. You have to do the same thing over and over and over again. So like when I first started in even in the loan business, same thing. I had to go in every day, and from 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock, I did nothing but make phone calls. When I got lunch, I got a light lunch. I wouldn't get tired. And from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, I made more phone calls. I took a break from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. I made phone calls until I built that pipeline. And you have to find what works for you. For me, I was calling people that I knew or acquaintances, youngsters, other teachers I was in classes with or ready to buy houses. Luckily, I got out of college back in 2001. By the time I came to realtor, 2007. So a lot of the guys that I knew from college, like, hey, I know you got your teaching credentials. Are you ready to buy a house yet? I know you're out there in the Inland Empire. I'll swing down. Let's go take a look. And then that built into something else from one or two people. And then from there, it just kept going. But you got to remember, too, I came from a wholesale background where I had hundreds of employees. So those guys that are still in wholesale, they get buyers or friends, and then they'll send people over to me. I'm like, yeah, let's, I'll kick you back half the
sphere of
commission,
influence.
do the stuff like that.
Yeah,
exactly. And like I always tell my guys, that my newbies that work for me now, if you don't tell someone you're a realtor 100 times a day, no one knows.
yeah.
If you don't run through a box of 1,000 cards within the first 3 months,
Yeah.
no one knows you're a realtor.
Yeah.
So if you don't tell people, who are they going to call?
Yeah, dude, that's great stuff. That's great stuff. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. All right, man. Let's get to the real side of real estate. Let's get to tell us something that showcases a little bit like real estate's not all fun and games. It's not all glamour. It's not always pretty. Things happen. Strange things happen. Have you ever had a strange thing happen in real estate?
Tons of them. I mean, I'll tell you, when one of my first listings, I had the water turned on by the city, and it was a short sale. So how a short sale goes. I was ready for 6 months, but the city went out, turns the water on, whole house floods. So we had to get the entire insurance company involved. And this is when I wasn't doing so well. So I really needed a closing. They had to go out. We had to get the insurance company involved. They had to fix this. And it was a condo. So 3 units went down with it.
Oh,
so all the neighboring ones, the one below it, it was a nightmare. Probably one of my worst mistakes by not checking that, make sure the washer and dryer weren't removed before we turned the water on.
So is that the lesson? Is that what caused it? What caused it?
Yeah, the washer, they had taken the washer out, and the water was off when they took it out, so they didn't care about turning
turning it off. So you weren't in the house. City turned on the water. It starts pouring out.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Wow.
We just had it turned on. So I found out, hours later when the neighbor called. So
that's a good story.
That was one of my. Yeah, it's a fun one.
And that's one of your first ones.
That was my first one. My first one though. I was in Inglewood. This is before we had navigation in our cars, right? So this
Yeah.
is my first showing ever, my first Zillow lead ever. I'll never forget. They're still clients of mine. I probably sold 5 or 6 houses to this day. But Jennifer and Brian, they had little kids. I had my little kids in the car with me. We go to Inglewood. I show my house at 109th Street. And then, so we had 13 houses in Inglewood. So I didn't know there was programs out there that will map my destinations and get me going in the right direction.
Yeah.
So we went from 90303, which is like South Inglewood, all the way to 90305, which is North Inglewood, like closer to LA, right back to the neighbor's house. And I didn't. It was a nightmare. Like I was. Thank God they stayed with me, but I must have made a good impression. So,
But it's like, man, I just want to see the whole area, and I just didn't want to deny you the pleasure of really experiencing, traveling from one side to the
pretty
other.
much. But
Dude.
embarrassing because I didn't. I should have looked at the papers, right, and noticed they
Yeah.
kind of next door to each other. When
Yeah.
we pulled right back up, I was like,
That's awesome, dude. Fun stuff, man. The water one's good too. That's a good one. Turn the water on the house that's been shut off. Go through and make sure everything's shut down before you do that.
make sure it's shut down for
Oh
sure. But
God.
we all
Good
make the
shit.
mistakes. I mean, there's made plenty of them. I've got
Yeah.
90 stories.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, listen, man, you're in the Downey area. You're always looking to build your team. You got a bunch of guys in there right now. You gave me kind of the tour. It's kind of it looks like really cool. You seem like an extremely cool dude. You got it together, man. You're motivated. You're inspirational. It's just really neat to meet you. It's a great pleasure. If someone wants to join the team, if they want to reach out to you, they're kind of close to you in that area. Do they have to be in Downey, or can they be literally anywhere?
No, my guys are all over the place. I got guys in Empire, Sherman Oaks, Mid California, like Central Valley.
Okay.
So we kind of try and keep people everywhere because we get lots of referrals. I get tons of people that come in, so I'm passing people out left and right.
Okay.
If I can't get out that far, I'll send them out.
Yeah.
But I get phone calls from everywhere. I was just in Visalia 2 weeks ago selling houses.
Yeah.
I've got my MLS or my Supra in 4 different MLS zones.
Yeah. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, great. So the number 562-413-9399.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right, guys. 562-413-9399 if you're interested in connecting with Josh. Why not? Terrific guy, cool setup, cool thing going on, man. Looks like a cool office. Just everything's cool, man. You're a cool guy. So there you go. We'll put that information down below as well. And so, Josh, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks a lot.
I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you betcha. And for everybody that's watching, do us a favor. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and forward it to somebody else. Do us a favor, subscribe. You get, more of these come out all the time. More of our shows come out all the time. Thanks for joining us here at Behind the Agent. And I'm your host, Frank Ray. With that, we'll see you guys later. Thank you.